Poor man's Transformer.
I'm telling you. Hi, folks, and welcome to Board Game GoBots, because why not? I'm Matt. We're talking about vintage board games. We have our regular guest, Luke from Down from the Attic. Bernardo, hello. Bernardo from Tabletop Island. Norm from the newly refought. The battle for the Board Game Museum was won after many months, and Norm has come out triumphant. Norm,
good to see you, brother.
And then we have the retro gamer from the Dice Tower, Azurvog. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, this is going to be a fun conversation here. We have a lot of fun topics to discuss. Our first one is we're going to kind of test our knowledge here just for fun. I know I'm going to strike out because you guys probably got all of winners that I don't have here, but a component from a vintage board game. So this is like a little show and tell, right? Bernardo, this is your idea.
Yeah, I actually got it from Retro Board Gamer on Twitter. He's been doing this a lot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're
Coming full
taking it
circle,
from the
guys.
retro game. Okay, so we're totally ripping off the retro gamer, which is okay
Yeah.
because you're with us.
So every time before my segment comes out, I usually put a picture on Twitter about a couple of the components and have people, hey, can you guys guess the game? So some people have gotten it right before, but most of the time they're very stumped.
All right. So, wow, this is interesting. Okay. So we'll go ahead. I don't know who to start with. We'll start with Bernardo. No, we'll start with Norm. We'll start with Norm this time. Norm, we haven't started with you, have we?
No, not that I can remember, but
Okay. Yeah, we need to start with Norm. Okay,
Yeah.
Norm, go for it.
all right. This is a game I own. I did a review of this one. We'll see if you guys know this component here.
I know.
I know.
Too.
You
I
know,
also know.
Call on someone, Norm, to answer.
I'll call on Luke.
Oh, this is Bermuda Triangle.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I gave you all
I
an eight.
just picked this up not long ago.
Matt,
Yeah.
you recommended it to me, and it's one I'm still looking to track down, but it looks like a fun game.
It is a pretty fun game. I love the little magnets here on the bottom that pick the ships up when the storm goes over it. That's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, that's a good. That's the game that I've been wanting to get. Actually,
Wait,
is
really?
Bermuda Triangle because it looks
There's
so nice.
there's some at a board game shop that I live near. I got one for $2. I think they still have a few copies. Yeah. It's just sitting there, and I saw it, and I looked really quick, found Norm's review. He said it was good. I was like, all right, bye.
Oh,
$2.
it looks great. I like the
what-
idea. There are magnets in that little piece there,
Yeah.
right?
In the ships, yeah. There's
That's-
on here too.
And some days your ship may pass through and be okay, and then some it may get lost at sea. It's
Yeah.
so brilliant. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah, you spin the spinner and the storm will move that direction, and then you have to turn it. And sometimes it'll go right over your ship, and it won't pick it up. But it gets really close sometimes, which is one of the reasons I like the game so much because it puts you on edge.
Okay. All right, Bernardo, what's your component?
All right, so I tried to keep.
I
it with
know.
what
I know. That's Volcar from Fireball Island.
That so this one's an interesting one. So I'm gonna spin it around.
Sorry. Hold on. Did this wrong. Press the wrong button. All right, go for it.
So it's a dice.
I know.
Very specific dice.
It's a dinosaur dice. So from what do
I
you
recognize that.
I think I know.
The game.
I think I know too.
Matt has to know this. I tried to
think
keep
I
it
know
not
this
anything
one, but-
too ridiculous, but something fun enough for enough peeps to know. This
Who
is
do
a
you-
classic.
Okay, since you said I would know, you're probably right. You want to ask the retro
right.
gamer?
Okay, is it the Crocodile Hunter one where it's kind of like Frady Cats, but it's for a retheme and it's instead of crocodile?
No, but I actually do use this dice for it.
Oh, interesting.
spoiler
Okay, that was my guess.
This was a good guess.
Matt.
I honestly I laughed because I felt like it should have belonged to that game.
Okay, yeah.
What about you, Norm?
If I were to guess, I would guess Jurassic Park.
No.
Nope.
All right. Final one, Matt.
It's Quicksand.
Yes.
Oh,
The game
Such a
where the
fun-
pieces, the men are in 5 different pieces and they're moving down. The gator is on the die.
which makes no sense, but whatever.
What?
Yeah.
There's a gator under all that quicksand. Come
They
on,
always it's inherent.
yeah.
man. I feel like I'm batting 1,000. But yeah, that one is it's a wild one. But just like quicksand, the game moves pretty slow.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
It does. My game went pretty quickly the 2 times I've played it back to back, but I definitely had a recent one that was longer.
It just goes a little too slow for me. It starts dragging a little bit. Well, you know, I mean, you can't fault it because it is neat, the 5 pieces, and it is funny when you're just a hat traveling.
Yeah. And you're somehow still alive for being under there for like 5 minutes.
I think when all you can see is your hat, I think you're dead. I don't think you're moving.
But yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
can
if you've
move
never
to-
tried it, play the Crocodile Hunter with this dice.
No,
$1,000
but I know
funny.
what you mean now. You just roll it and randomly move. That's actually pretty
Yeah,
smart.
that's smart. Yeah, I
I've
don't
never-
own the quicksand game. I want it. I've seen it, but I've never found it before.
All right, Luke.
See, I kind of thought this was going to be like a little bit like 20 questions. So mine's it's probably a lot easier to discern what mine is.
Oh, I definitely know. Does anybody else know?
I think I know that.
I know that one.
I think I know.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke, call on one of us.
I'm going to say Bernardo.
That is going to be crossbows and catapults, but the battle something sets, the full battle set. It's the full one.
It is, yeah. It's
There's
one
only
of the,
one of them has.
it's one of the capsules for the Master Battle set. Yeah.
There you go, Master Battle.
Okay, I didn't know the subset. I knew it was from crossbows and catapults, though.
Yeah, Luke's
Well,
the only one with the Master Battle. Sadly, I wanted that one.
Yeah, I believe that one is from a different company. It's not from Lakeside. It's from a different company, I believe.
The set I've got is from Tommy.
Tommy, yeah, that's right, Tommy. Yeah, because the ones from Lakeside actually have a picture of a Viking or a barbarian on the sticker.
Yeah, there's 2 different factions with the Ptolemy one. I think there's the Doom Lords of Gulch and the Dread Lords of the Clanic Shelf.
Yeah, they dove a little bit deeper into the.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so mine is probably, it may be easily guessed. I don't know. I've got more to give. You can't get it off one, but it is this right here. Hold on. It's a little, come on, Matt. Let's see if we can get this focused on that. Focus. Hold on. Let's see. Can it focus?
Huh.
Hold on. Back away. It says happy birthday on it. This is a birthday cake.
Oh,
What?
oh, man.
I'll tell you what, let me see if I can add another one. Here's a birthday present.
I know what it is, Matt.
Oh, someone found out. Anyone else know?
Oh.
I'd have to Google it.
You have to Google this.
I'd have to
Birthday
Google
cake
it.
and a birthday present. Retro Gamer,
No,
what is it?
I've no
I
idea.
believe it's from a game called Go For It.
Oh, I got to put that on my list.
Now, why? In fact, there's other pieces. There's a cupcake, pizza, and ice cream, and a party hat. Let me bring this back up.
What is the goal of this game?
So now that sounds weird, right? Because it shows you the game is Go For It. Right. What it is, this is the now Retro Gamer or anyone else, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the only game that rewards you when it's your birthday.
That is correct, at least as far as I know.
As far as I know, because if the board is kind of like a calendar, all 52 spaces are each week of the year, and you put your piece on the week of your birthday, and if it lands on the board, then everyone has to give you an item for your birthday because it celebrates your birthday.
All right. I consider this game a more complex version of Payday.
I love Payday.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Yeah, and totally.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, totally 80s. I mean, this came out in the 80s, but there is no doubt.
I know.
This game is epic 80s. I mean,
Tennis in a cul-de-sac, definitely the 80s.
I mean, this lady here. I mean, that's 80s, baby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what's her name from Karate Kid, Elizabeth Shue, you know. But yeah, I went for go for it. All right, so Retro Gamer, what
All right.
do you have for it?
Here we go. Let's see if you guys can figure this one out. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ah,
I know.
we talked about this one.
Bernardo. Oh, I'll say.
No,
It's definitely not E ET.
you know, I've never played the ET game, but I kind of want it.
All right, what is it?
Oh,
believe-
Bernardo, go ahead since you know it.
Lost Gold.
Lost Gold it is.
Yeah.
Now-
Yes, go ahead, Matt.
Retro Gamer, I have to say that after our last stream, actually, Bernardo, you just showed us that game, right?
Yeah, not long ago. Yeah.
He just showed us that
Yeah.
game, which is the only reason I would have got that.
So anyway, during the game, you hide these gold bars that have magnets on them, and the top gets covered up. So you do it secretly, and you take the gold finder, and then when it touches the magnet, then you open the little case here, and it'll say whether you found something or not found something. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's what it is. It's kind of like a
That's
hidden
cool.
game. You're trying to find, I believe it's 3 gold bars before your opponent.
Yeah. Question: did you get sponge earplugs in yours? Because I swear someone was messing with me.
No, that's the sponge. There's sponges in there to protect the piece. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they just threw in a component just to like throw me off. I was like, man, that's kind of a genius way to sell the game. Just throw them up.
I was telling yesterday or the other day, someone sent me a game and it had these really like space coasters. Is what it was like little beer coasters or whatever. But it was a little game with coasters, and I was like, how is this a part of the game? And I tried looking over the rules. I kept going, I don't know what space coasters have to do with this. And then I realized he just threw that in there. Just to mess with you, just throw an extra game in there. Say, oops, how did I get in there? Oh, well, you can keep it. That's how you get rid of extra games you don't want. Like whenever Norm sells a game, he just puts a package of Seen It in there, just to give him.
I would never do that to anybody.
All right, so the next question is something we like in board games. What do we like to see in these vintage board games? Is there a unique mechanism? Is there a unique, style, art, piece? What is it that really we get excited about when we first look at a board game before reading the rule? Maybe it is the rules. But I was thinking like before reading the rules, if I just look at something, what's something that perks my interest in some of these board games? What do we really like about vintage board games? So, you know what, Bernardo, this was your question, so I'll let you start first.
So with board games, what I typically look for is 3D boards. So I look for something that has a kind of dimensional element. I don't really like flat laid out boards like a Monopoly kind of thing with just metal pieces that move around. So I typically look for things just initially that have kind of a 3D perspective to them, whether or not it's just standing at an angle or it actually has a full 3D piece to it, which is really the move there, like a Tornado Rex with a 3D mountain, or It from the Pit with a kind of a 3D monster, Fireball Island, because, Volcar.
3D boards are definitely an eye popper for me. Whenever I see one, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm interested. Did anyone see Jamie, the Board Game Man's review on King of the Hill? with the marbles going up the hill and everything.
You know that there was a store over here that actually had that game.
I thought you had that or something or seen that.
I've seen it. I never got it.
I didn't know there was a review on it. I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah, Board Game Man just put it up not too long ago, right?
He just put it up yesterday, I think.
Okay. Oh, that's
Or
cool.
2 days ago. 2 days ago, he put it up, and it was interesting. But it's got a 3D board.
Yeah, no, I almost got it, but I couldn't find out what it was about, and it looked like it would be boring, so I was scared.
Right, you never know. You never know. You didn't know what it was about, so I was scared. So it's not really that big of a. Anyway, all right. So Luke, what's something you really are fascinated by or love about vintage board games?
For me, it's more all encompassing. Like I personally feel like a lot more care and attention went into vintage board games than, especially children's ones, than maybe some of the modern counterparts. So, like Bernardo said, there's a lot of 3D elements. There's the mechanical elements, electronic elements like Forbidden Bridge and Omega Virus and Marble Madness, you know, where a lot of design and care has gone into making such an interesting game. And those sort of games, like it's not just the component in the middle that makes the game special. Like something like Marble Madness, each of those shops has got its own little storefront and own little. All the names in that are puns. They're all really cheesy puns, and you know someone sat down with a notepad and gone, right, okay, we need a really cheesy pun here for a chemist, and it's that sort of effort. Same with the box art and everything. And what fascinates me more is like certain of these games have only been out for like a year, like 1 year release, and that was it. They have never seen another print again, and it's almost like a special feeling when you find something like that and it's rare, and all this effort's gone into it for what? For a bunch of kids to enjoy for a year and then forgotten about, and it feels like. Yeah, it's what I enjoy about the hobby.
You know what? I thought you were going to say ball bearing games.
Well, I do love those as well.
Because you have opened my eyes on some of those ball bearing games for your collection.
Yeah, I got a new one for you too to tell you about. Megatrex by Ravensburger. I just heard about it. I think it's called Megatrex.
Oh, I'll have to have a look into it.
Yeah, it's a newer one too, it's an insane one. You kind of build your own, and I was like, oh, Luke would love this.
Oh, is it with like the hexagonal pieces where you make like a
yeah.
So it's great. It's fantastic, and there's loads of add-on packs as well.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I figured you would have it.
Yeah, it's funny because during ball bearing week, Luke had on his video. I think he had a video every week for like 7 days of just a ball bearing game. And I remember when I would wake up, the video would already be posted. And so on my way to work, I would have that. Getting ready for work, I'd have that playing, and that was how I started my morning. Ate my breakfast, listened to Luke, talked to me about a ball bearing game, and then hit the road. Time to go to work. It was a great week. All right, so let's go to mine real quick. The thing I love most, I love the mechanisms, the motorized little mechanisms. I love them, man. I love them. Luke told me about Hang In There, and I was like, yeah, done. Got to have that. That's really fun. Of course, I'm not as technical as his, as technically inclined as Luke is to kind of fix some of these motorized games. But Luke just did a review on the Forbidden Bridge, and he's right. It just winds up, doesn't need batteries, just moves on its own. It doesn't have to have batteries, but it can if it does. I just think, I don't know, those type games with I'm trying to think. I had another example here. It from the Pit. Yeah, I love that. Just the simple stuff like that. It's so much fun. I almost said electric. The electric board games like Marble Madness and what is it? The one I talk about every show, Omega Virus. I didn't want to mention it again, but I do love those as well. But I felt like I was repeating myself every answer saying Omega Virus. So I wanted to give something different there. But I do love a cool and unique little mechanism that always gets me. Like Norm did a review called The Inventors, where it's like a dice tower is what it is really. But it tumbles around and rings a bell as it comes out. Come on, man.
That is cool.
And it's its own little invention, you know, so it fits thematically. I love those little contraptions. They don't have to do much, but what they do it tickles me. So I really love seeing those. That's one thing I really like in a vintage board game.
Yeah.
Okay. Retro gamer.
Okay. For me, what I like about retro games is just the simplicity of it. Just that you can literally teach anybody. I mean, normally the rules are on the box lid, you know, you can read them in, 3 minutes and teach somebody the game right away. When I first started on the Dice Tower, 5 years ago, I haven't gotten in a while, but when I first started, people were saying, "What are you doing? This is not a game. This is so simple. It's beyond its time. It's past its time. This is where we're all now. This is where we're at now." And I'd be saying, well, that's why I like them because of the simplicity of it. You can just, get away for 15, 20 minutes. Everybody has a good time. And that's, that's a fun time for me also if everybody else is having a good time. I mean, who cares what the game's about? It's just the simplicity of older games that really gravitates, that I like.
Mhm.
I think I think you just said something that all of us agree. I mean, this is the whole reason we review these and love these games is because of the simplicity of them, and the ingenious, because they weren't all roll and move.
Yeah.
Not all of them were roll and move. They were in a way. I mean, yeah, those games compared to some of the newer games, the strategy, the complexity isn't there, but it didn't have to be. The fun factor is there, and that's why we love playing it. I love that. That's a great reason.
Yeah, I mean, simple games as well. I mean, my friends and my family, they're not ones for complicated games. I mean, I brought out the Cryptozoic Ghostbusters game, and I just put it on the table and started lifting all the miniatures out, and just got that sort of like, oh no.
That was like Betrayal House on the Hill for me. Like, I had to get a friend to teach me because we opened the box and me and my friend looked at each other and laughed. We were like, "Yo, how about we just do this another day?"
No, Bernardo, you should have just grabbed the inside of the box and gone, "Why aren't the instructions printed on the box cover?"
Yeah, that would have been even worse. Then I never would have got it to the table.
You're absolutely right. I didn't think about that. It is so convenient when the instructions are on the back of the box cover. It is so.
You'll never lose them.
That is so smart. I didn't think about that, but that is. I am always glad when the instructions are printed on the box. Wow. What was the game that I just got? Pirates Gold. Bernardo showed me Pirates Gold, and I got that one. And I said, "How many does it take to win?" I can't remember. And it's printed on the box, on the top of the box cover. How many points you need to win? And I was looking at the instructions going, I don't see it.
Yeah. I argued with the new guy recently because I was like, the instructions aren't here. And I looked at the back of the box and it wasn't there. I was like, because that's the first place I looked. He said, no, it's on the back of the box. I was like, really? What? It was hiding. I was never going to look at the back of the box.
All right, Norm.
Well, I love all the things you guys have said. I completely agree with you. I think one of the things I really like are some of the games that are just huge. Pro Action Football is one of your favorite games, man. I know you guys like that game too. Big game. Torpedo Run is another one. That one takes up the whole table. Battle Masters. That's a massive, massive game.
I want that game.
And games that have a big feel like Crossbows and Catapults. I really enjoy those things too. But games like that, I don't know why, because it's not like I have a lot of closet space, to fit boxes that are like half the size of my car. But still, I just love them because they're just so, they're just such a wow factor when you see them. Like, oh my gosh, that is like the biggest game I've ever seen. I've never seen a game like that. When people are typically playing card games, they're not used to seeing like an entire table with a mat on it with all like 200 miniatures or whatever on it. That's one of the things I like. You don't see a lot of those games around, but something like that, yeah, I'm a fan.
Those giant size games you do love.
I do.
You do, and they are amazing. You're exactly right. It is the wow factor. You bring that out, and people are like, "What is this?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a statement piece.
Yeah.
As much for the game companies at the time as for people who were owning them. Like, we can build this. This is our new game.
Yeah.
We spare no expense. We're counting out the hundreds in front of you of money we made from you buying it, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that was. It's almost like some of those just look like play sets. They're just so immense, and all the pieces are really nice. You talk about crossbows and catapults. You talk about battle masters. I mean, all that stuff just looks amazing. Amazing. It fits the toy / game genre. It's a good cross sell to anyone. But you're right. Those are just incredible to look at.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now that we've been praising vintage games, let's badmouth them a little bit. What is a vintage game turnoff? Luke, I'm going to start with you.
Okay. This is something I hate about. I hate when it's in any game, modern, vintage, whatever. I hate any game that comes with a little notepad, and it kind of limits how many times you're going to play that game because you don't want to waste all these bits of paper. I really detest that. Like with the new Jaws board game, you have the shark tracker, and it's a pain in the ass having to draw the lines out and write it all out. I absolutely detest it, and I hate it in vintage games. There's no need for it. Just have like a photocopial, a sheet that you take it to your photocopy, get 50 copies or something like that, but not a notepad. It's really annoying. I hate it.
You are so right.
That's hilarious.
My wife and I played Bargain Hunter this weekend. And she was like, "Hey, what happens when you run out of these?" I went, "Oh, we throw the game away." I said, "Well, we won't. We have plenty." But she's right. Eventually, if we keep playing it, we won't. And they're not making any. It's not like they're making any new ones.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, Luke. That is a big turnoff for regular board games today. If it has a pad that you have to use to count this or do that, it involves using the pad every game. I'm like, I don't want to do that because that game's not going to be around forever. And if I like the game, I'm going to have to go make photocopies every time I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't now? It's a simple it's a simple fix here. Why not get just a dry erase board?
That's what I do with mine. Like Dream Phone, I laminated it.
Say Anything has it. Say Anything is a generic party game. I actually love it. They could have gone the cheap route and done a pad, just a pad of paper. No, they got these nice little, dry erase boards. It's like, that's brilliant. Why doesn't everyone? And I was thinking, why don't I make a dry erase board of Bargain Hunter or something like that? Make dry erase boards. That way it's there, but you're eventually not going to carry the game. Your company is eventually going to go under too, most likely. And so a lot of those board games, like the original Conspiracy, man, when those pass books are done, that's it. You can't play anymore. And getting photocopies of those doesn't kind of work because you have to fold it. It won't look as good,
Yep.
Try laminating them and then using a dry erase marker. That's what I did for Dream Phone because I was like, oh, I'm going to run out of these way too quick because this is hilarious.
Because of how many times you play Dream Phone.
I'm predicting the future, guys. Right.
He likes to try to find who the cutest boy is.
Yeah.
Hey, Bernardo, I love that game too. I love that game too.
Somebody has a crush on you, but I'm not telling.
God, hate that part.
That is the number one game that my wife wants me to find for her. She loved Dream Phone as a kid. She said, "Get Dream Phone. I'll always play Dream Phone." I was like, "Okay, we're gonna try to find Dream Phone." I didn't know it came with a pad though. That sucks.
Laminating is a powerful thing, guys.
All right, so mine is kind of simple. Even though I do have games that have this, I just don't like it. I hate the cardboard pawn. I hate the cardboard. The pawn, you fold it in half and click on that little plastic stand. Yeah. Those things get damaged. They get bent. They get eaten away. They get lost and destroyed or ripped. And there's no way of fixing them once they're ripped. Sometimes they won't even fit on the base. Sometimes, I'm not talking about the punch out cardboard stand. I'm talking about just the one that you tear out, you fold in half. What's one game I played this past weekend? Where's the Beef? The little old ladies are just those old cheap little cardboard. You just fold them in half and then stick them on a thing. Man, whenever I see cardboard and little plastics, and you still see that today actually and games coming out, but I hate that. I can't stand that. I was like, come on, at least give me the cheap little plastic piece, generic piece, than give me just cardboard that's going to rip and die. I know that sounds petty, but I mean, that is just definitely a board game turnoff for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other thing as well is like when you look at like vintage ones and like the corner edge around the cardboard cutout is like brown from like years of manky fingers. Like, oh God, this is a biohazard.
Now you didn't even think, now you didn't give me. That's another reason. I think about that's the reason why they're worn. And it's those kids are going, yeah, and cardboard, so yeah, who knows what nasty's has been on there. They're looking at their fingers because they just had their PB&J and they're moving their piece. I'm never going to buy one again. All right. Retro gamer, board game turnoff.
Okay. I don't like when they don't show an actual picture of the kids having a good time playing this game. That kind of turns me off. Okay. It's something that they don't do anymore. I like to look at the box and go, wow, these kids are having a great time. I can have a great time too. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Luke, please tell me you have your slime monster game on you. That
I'll
kid,
grab-
hold on. I'm going to do my impression of that kid's face.
He's having a good time.
See, they don't. They started doing it less and less as the years went on, but now they really don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm now you got me looking for some vintage game to see. But you're right. A lot of them used to. Yeah, I see kids and hang in there. I see kids and. Oh wow.
I'll show you when we get to the next question.
Okay, yeah, I got one too for the next question. Kids playing McDonald's game, enjoying it. That is hilarious. Kids playing Crocodile Hunter. Oh, you just opened my eyes to that.
That's hilarious.
No, that kid in the slime monster thing's like, there's slime. Wah! I know they're supposed to be faking it, but I think that kid was serious. Like, oh my God.
No, oh, that actually reminds me. On my YouTube video for Curse of the Idol, a guy commented. I don't know if he did on your guys' videos, but he commented and said, I don't know if you have the one with the kids in the background, but I was the guy on the left in that, which is pretty cool to know. I was like, what? That's awesome.
I was about to ask, where are these board game models these days? Oh, wait. Luke may have it.
Look at how much fun those kids are having.
He's the guy right next to the girl is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can look for the comment. It was crazy. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's crazy.
The sad thing is, if he's playing Curse of the Idol, he's smiling because he's next to the girl, not because he's playing the game.
No, it's gritting. It's a grimace.
It's a grimace. Put it back up.
Yeah.
He's probably like, oh, this sucks. You just keep turning round and round and round.
There's a whole Twitter thing about Heartthrob finding Trevor.
Dude, I would have loved to have been one of those kids. Okay. All right. Norm. What's the board game turn?
One thing that comes to mind is when you get a game and you break it for some reason and you can't fix it. A good example would be Perfection. There's like you can unscrew parts of it, but the thing is sealed, so if like the motor's screwed up, you can't fix it. You can probably make a simple little adjustment, but instead you have to end up getting a whole new game. Now, Perfection's not expensive, but like if it was a more expensive game, that it won't glue on right, even if you're going to try to glue. And just parts like that. I've had some games break on me before, and I just can't get inside to fix it unless I got a hammer and broke it. I wish that they would have made them easier to fix, just using screws instead of having to seal the entire thing. Because, things can't happen, especially when it's a kid's game. So, yeah, that'd be me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. They need to be built to last, or at least built to be fixed.
No.
All right.
To that as well is getting a game and it missing parts. Like, especially when it's been listed as being complete, and you open the box, it's like, this has never seen complete. Half the game's missing.
Yeah.
You know,
Hate that.
That just recently happened to me, and I was mad. I was like, "You said it was complete. He went, it was complete. It's no, it's not. You didn't even look at and the thing is, on the very front of the instructions, it says what's there.
yeah.
So you didn't do a count. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't know. It was complete. No, it wasn't complete when you sent it, deuces. I looked in the box. It wasn't there. It just
Anything
aggravated me.
insane. I don't know what the contents are like, but I'm pretty sure it's all there. It's like, no, not chancing.
Yeah, I'm right now working on a trade on Board Game Geek. And of course, his number one question is the same as mine. Is your game complete? Because my game's complete. Is your game? Yes, my game. I said, I even have extra pieces to my game. So I want to make sure his is motorized too. I said, does it work? He said, yeah, it works. Have you played it? Because remember that hang in there the first time I got it from that lady. She said it worked. I said, no, it plays music. You didn't even test it. You just turned it on, heard the music, and went, okay, it works. Nothing's moving. And then she got me a second one, which I don't know how she has two hang in theirs, but anyway. But she got me a second board that worked. So I was like, okay, it's so stupid. Anyway, that is aggravating. All right, Bernardo, you're the last one here, right?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
So I know we had this conversation. So initially, I would definitely stand by standees. I cannot stand having standees in games, seeing them curse. Voice of the Mummy being one of the only exceptions for this rule for me. But the other thing that I cannot stand with games is, all right, so you have cardboard, or the cardboard is formed to make this 3D piece, but it's ridiculously flimsy. One example would be Lost of the Valley of the Dinosaurs, that little tower that holds the coins. I haven't had a problem with it because you don't do too much with it, but it's an example for how a lot of games will have something that thin and flimsy, and over time you can't avoid it, basically, where it just tears the corners, or two pieces that you have to hinge together that just get weaker, like a ghost castle and stuff like that. I cannot stand weak cardboard pieces, or pieces that rely on the cardboard to hold it up when you know it won't last very many plays. I cannot stand that at all.
That is, I'll add Lost World to that list. Lost World looks like an amazing game. It's all that flimsy cardboard, and it's such a pain to put together and keep together. And then pray it doesn't tear, because, I mean, anyone could just rip that off.
13 Dead End Drive. Every time you have to build a mansion, it just getting weaker and weaker, and the pieces are fraying.
You would have thought they would have did plastic after all these years, man. That's such a hit.
Or a thicker card stock, or a thicker card stock to hold it all together. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So our next topic is weird themes for board game. And boy, I'm gonna go first here. Boy, do I have a weird one for you. It's kind of a game, but it isn't. It's mainly a toy, but they market it as a game. Snardbark. Snardbark. It's not an aardvark. It's a Snardbark, and it's an alien little whatever. And it's got these. This is the thing from the Nerds Candy. That's all I can see is Nerds Candy when I look at these things, and they're on his tongue. They can't get off his tongue, but they're running away from not being eaten. And I who thought what? But you'll be happy to know.
Look at those kids.
They're having a great time. That kid is not looking at that game, though.
The kid's like, stupidest game I've ever seen. She's going, really, I don't know what is happening here. My mother said I get money just to sit here. This one's going, hey, this is what? There's even, as this is the same picture on the back, but yeah, there they are. There's the kids. They're happy playing it, but they have no idea. 2 out of 3 of these kids have no idea what's going on. Like I said, she's the only one that seems conscious that she knows what's going on. They're like, what is this? I don't know. You people are stupid, but they're having fun playing some Snardbark. Snardvart. I remember seeing this and going, wait, what? Snardvart? Really? And because it looks like it could be an advertisement for Nerds Candy. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what they were thinking, but there's my weird board game theme. Retro Gamer.
My weird theme, and it's something that I don't like in games, is when they market games to kids that you conjure up, demons from the other side. Ouija is one of them. That's kind of like a weird theme for kids, It's like, let's try to conjure up some spirits here. It's like, Voodoo is another one that's got a couple of vintage games that got themes in it. Voodoo, I do own a couple of them, but it's like, I got to make my collection complete,
I almost picked Mystic Skull.
That's about Voodoo.
Mystic Skull.
Yeah.
You're putting
straight up
skins
Voodoo.
in dolls, and it's got a skull going over a cauldron with these plastic bones moving around. Like, what
You
is
spill your blood in the center and everything. It's like,
You're supposed to- That's how you power the skull. Can you imagine? Hey, what are you kids doing? We're just playing Mystic Skull, Mama. Look, I named this voodoo doll you. Well, at least you're not out there at the wicked world, outside in the wicked world. You're inside playing safe. Now, don't touch that Dungeons and Dragons. Play a wholesome game like Mystic Skull.
Yeah.
From the ideal, the people who brought you Poison Ivy.
an
What?
ideal game.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Now I think about it, their games weren't meant to be safe, huh? Ideal was the renegade board gamer back in the 50s. Norm?
All right. Well, I actually found this game in a bin somewhere, and it actually goes for a little money. Definitely the weirdest one I've ever seen. I'll show it to you on my phone. See if you can see it. It's Big John. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a toilet bowl. A toilet bowl. And for you, Retro Gamer, there is a picture of the back of the box. I will be more than happy to show you.
I love it.
Let me see if I can find
Please
it.
don't
There
tell
it
me.
is. There it is. And look how happy those kids. Let me see here. Look how happy those kids are. Oh my gosh! How fun it is to play with a game with a toilet bowl.
They're
It's
just
actually,
looking at the camera.
it's actually pretty funny. You got a handle there. You've got a little wheel on the other side that you spin, and you got these scuzzies at the bottom, and you put them in the bowl, and then you flush the handle however many times it tells you, and you're hoping that they don't spit out because you're trying to get rid of all your scuzzies. But if they get spit out, it's going to come out this little hole here in the bottom, and then the toilet belches. It belches, folks. It's just a funny game, but I'm thinking, who in the world? They're sitting in a room, like a conference room somewhere, floating out ideas and said, hey, guys, I just went to the bathroom and this idea just came up.
Don't you hate all those scuzzies around the seat? Why don't you scoop the scuzzies into the bowl, and the bowl just eventually just pukes it all out on the kid?
They're just little green balls that have these expressions on them. That's all they are.
On the back of the box, it says "Good, Clean, Fun," but there's like an X through the clean.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of another game called Dizzy Dryer, and the whole game is basically
Oh yeah.
tumble dryer, and you're just trying to throw clothes into it. I mean, who thought that would be a fun game?
Lucky Penny did a review on that.
Yeah, that's
right?
how I know about it.
I
saw it at a
remember
shop
that
and picked it up
game.
though. It's so funny.
That is funny. I'd forgotten about that.
I
Oh
still
wow,
think idea though.
that's what doing laundry. Hey, it's a board game. They make a board
Teach
game.
them young. Got to teach them young.
All right, Bernardo. Weird
All right,
board
so-
game theme.
So I thought about talking about Pounce from the last time we talked about some weird games, but I actually have one called Pig Pong. This is strange. So you have these pigs here that blow air and blow this little cloud puffball like tennis. It is an air tennis. It is absolutely wacky. I don't understand where this idea derived from. I'm really wondering what that meeting looked like, where they're like, "Yo, what if we just took these pigs and like played tennis? Like this is the move."
For Asdrubal, can you get both the kids in the frame?
Yeah, there you go. Look at how
Okay.
much fun.
Oh no! I have
they're
something
having.
better for you. They got a collection.
Oh,
of kids having
there you go.
Look at that.
Let me tell you, that game is difficult to play. Difficult.
Oh, it's a
I know.
workout too.
I know because I had that game as a kid. I did. It's a little, and are those cotton? They're like little cotton snowflakes. Are they still? Are they still in the box? Are they still in good condition? I can imagine those lasting that long. Shut up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Show it.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll get another.
Oh wow, it looks like a Stridex pad. Okay, so actually.
No, my favorite part, one of the things I was being picky with was it had to have the eye stickers. It took me forever to get them with the eye stickers. That's so silly.
Shut up. That was such a poor, and that was a hard game to play because we played as kids.
It's a hard game.
You shoot over once and you won.
It's one time, one volley, it's over.
It's over. It's over.
I want to see people going back and forth. That would be amazing.
I got you.
Everyone wins if someone returns it. Everyone wins. That's how it's a team effort to try to get the ball back over. I will say that it is a plastic net, and I appreciate that. It was easy to set up.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to set up. Quick game to set up, but impossible to play. Impossible to play.
It has the point tracker built into the net. Smart.
Yeah. I like the net. It's just those little cotton whatever snowflake balls that they're impossible. It's impossible to return one of those because you're already hitting it. And the other thing is, if someone's sometimes it's hard to get over the thing because their mouth is so little that there's a little spoke of air. It'll just hit it and it'll just fall back on your side. You can even move it over.
Yeah. It's like Wacky Blasters. It was impossible to guarantee you were going to hit it perfectly. That
I loved your review of Wacky Blasters where you just sitting there hitting it over and over again. Not at all.
No, it's so frustrating.
Norm, don't you have Wacky Blasters?
I know. No. I found Pig Pong, but I didn't get it. It was incomplete.
It doesn't matter if it's complete or not.
It's such a silly game.
Still unplayable. What a weird game. All right, Luke.
Okay, so like when you think about things like knights, castles, dragons, magic, someone got plumbing. It's round the bend. You basically make a pipe. You're basically in the sewers. And you're making a pipe from one edge of the board to the other. You spin this little spinner, and you got to build your pipe across the board. It's a really strange concept for a game. It kind of ends up looking like the old Windows screensaver. Kids are having a riot. No idea what's going on.
No, they are all disappointed right now. They're like, we're gonna flood Mom's basement if we don't fix this now.
Yeah.
Well, it could be gas pipes. I mean, it could be, gas themselves. I mean, it's such a strange game.
A game about laying pipe. Okay, so let me ask you. Actually, when I saw your review, I actually thought this was a great game. I thought it was really awesome. And Bernardo came up with a solution to your issue.
Yeah, so I actually, when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is cool. I'd never heard of it. And I was like, why does it look familiar? And I looked at my recent purchases, actually. It was Pipeline. It's literally the same game. There's two things Pipeline fixes. One, the pieces connect a little bit better because I was looking at kind of the connectors. It looks like for Round the Bend, a lot of them seem to crack. So it seemed like I didn't see a lot for Pipeline with that issue, which was nice. The other is it has a dice, not a spinner. So nice having that engraved dice rather than that. That's another little turn off sometimes is the spinner. I absolutely suck at hitting those. And it's frustrating. But the Pipeline just getting 2 copies, having 2 copies worth of pipes makes the game perfect. And I haven't reviewed it yet because I've only played it once. I want to get a couple plays in, but it is solid.
It's really disappointing. Like when you've made like this huge tangling web of pipe, and you're like, okay, need one more piece. Oh no!
That's great though. That is a strange game though. I have to admit, yeah, I'm with you, Bernard, on spinners. But there was a game just a few years ago that came out with a spinner. Montana uses a spinner,
A lot
and
of people were upset about it too.
a lot of people are upset about it. But I'll be honest, I was like, what is a spinner doing here? I was like, well, bravo, you brought it back. You brought it back. Good for you. I don't mind it, actually. I don't have the game, but I played it. I was like, okay, a spinner. Okay, as long as this fad doesn't come back, I'm fine with it being a game with a spinner in it. But I was shocked to see a spinner. Shocked they still use the spinner. But that is kind of wild. But, you know, say la vie.
The game of life spinner, where it's ratcheted. I don't see why more games don't use something like that.
Oh, there was nothing more satisfying than hearing that life spinner rattle, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
They taught you how to gamble early when you're listening to the roulette machine.
Some of that roulette table, right? You drop a marble in there. Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
You learn to like the sound early.
Oh man. All right, so those are our questions that we had. Now, folks, in the comments, you can't give us a component to share, but you can tell us what a vintage board game thing you like about it, or a turn off, or a weird theme for a board game. Let us know in the comments below, and we'll do this again sometime. Folks, you can check out Retro Gamer on Twitter. Is that correct?
On Twitter, on Instagram, at Retro Board Gamer, and I'm on Board Game Breakfast either Monday or Thursday.
Yeah, Monday or Thursday. So check him out. I know I do. Norm, of course, the Board Game Museum. Norm, what you got coming? You got anything coming up for us?
I'm going to be reviewing Battleground Crossbows and Catapult soon. I just got to get a part for it, and I'm trying to think. I got about 20 games I have on a list that I'm going to be doing. I'm eventually going to do Crossfire too. So I've got some games planned.
Right on. Bernardo, what's Tabletop Island got in store for us?
So I went back for today's video. I'm just finishing the export for it. Like, hey, that's my fish. It's kind of an older game, but it's not vintage. It's a really fun strategic game that I'm kind of excited to kind of bring attention back to, even though there was a jumbo one, which I don't have, which I'd rather have. But yeah, as for the vintage games, it's a toss-up between Masterpiece. There's a few of them that I have ideas for, and yeah, there's a lot of things coming. I think Wednesday I'm going to have a really good comedy video. We'll see how that does on Twitter, because that's going to be a riot. But yeah.
Right on. Luke, what can we expect from Down from the Attic?
So next review is going to be a Modern Classics, and I'm looking at a couple of games in the same episode, purely because they connect. It's this game from Germany called Geisblitz and Geisblitz 2.0. Both are really fun little party games. Yeah, so that's going to be the next one, I think. Right
on. Folks, I have no idea what I'm reviewing tomorrow. I have it pre-posted. I just don't remember what it was. I don't have any. Last month I did a bunch of vintage games, and this month I'm not. But I am going to be getting at least one more vintage game, possibly two, in the next this month. So hopefully by May I'll have a few more to review vintage game wise, some really fun ones, hopefully. But anyway, thank you again, all my guests who came in. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's do this again sometime.
Sure thing, bro.
Of course.
Good to see you guys.
All right. And folks, we'll see you later. Oh, and if you want to know the big secret about what Restoration Games, what rights they had to that board game, I actually just found